Thank you very much, viewer, for joining us on Unity TV for the news update. Today is Wednesday, 11th October 2023, equivalent to the 26th of Rabiul Awwal 1445 after Hijrah. These are the headlines of the stories we're tracking. FG considering special anti-graft court, says AGF. Bayelsa poll, Silva files appeal against disqualification. Fulani and Mogavul communities give conditions for peace in Mangu. On the foreign scene, U.S. police kill driver who crashed into Chinese consulate. To come your way in sports, Manchester United held PSG in Women's Champions League qualifier. Those were the headlines, and for their details and other stories, my name is Shuaibu Dero. The federal government on Tuesday said it was considering the growing demand for the establishment of an international anti-corruption court, describing it as a paradigm shift in its approach to combating corruption at the global level. The government said the corrosive impact of corruption on Nigeria's development, stability and prosperity could not be overstated. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi's son, represented by a Deputy Director, Public Prosecution, Yusuf Abdullahi Abdul Qadir, stated this in his speech delivered in Abuja during the 33rd Anti-Corruption Situation Room organized by Human and Environmental Development Agenda, also known as HEDA Resource Center, in collaboration with Integrity Initiatives International, while describing corruption in all its ramifications as a great threat to the stability, progress and development of nations around the world. The AGF said graft was a cancer that knows no boundaries, undermines trust, weakens institutions, hampers economic growth and perpetuates social injustice. The chairman of HEDA, Olarinwaju Suraj, lamented that many corrupt people are getting elevated to higher places. Mr. Timmy Silva, the All Progressives Congress's candidate in the forthcoming November 11 Bayelsa governorship election on Tuesday, filed an appeal against the judgment of a lower court disqualifying his candidacy. Silva, in a notice of appeal filed by his lawyer, Mr. Ahmed Raji's son, prayed the court to set aside the judgment. Besides, the immediate past Minister of Petroleum also filed a stay of execution of the judgment. Recall that Justice Donatus Okorowo of a Federal High Court, FHC, Abuja, in a judgment he delivered on Monday night, disqualified the APC candidate from contesting in the poll. Justice Okorowo had held that Silva, having been sworn in twice and ruled for 5 years as governor of the state, would breach the 1999 constitution as amended if allowed to contest again. The judgment followed a suit filed by Mr. Deme Kolomo, an APC member in Bayelsa, praying the court to order the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to delete Silva's name from the list of candidates contesting the November 11 governorship poll. No date has yet been fixed for the hearing of the appeal. Major General Umaru Malam Muhammad, who was convicted on 4th October 2023 of 14 out of 18 count charges preferred against him by the Nigerian Army, has been sentenced by Special Court Martial to 7 years imprisonment. President of the Special Court Martial, Major General James Miam, while reading the sentences, also ordered the convicted senior officer to refund the sum of $1,622,400 and $1,690 million naira to the Nigerian Army. At the tabulation of the sentences passed on the general, it amounted to 49 years imprisonment, but with the court announcing that they would run concurrently, it came down to 7 years. The president of the court, however, disclosed that the sentences are subject to confirmation by the Army Council, which is the appropriate confirming authority. Bringing you back to Plateau State, the Fulani and Mogavul communities in Mangu local government area of Plateau State have given conditions for peace to return to the area. The two warring parties have been at loggerheads with each other for the past couple of months, which resulted in the loss of hundreds of lives, properties worth millions of naira destroyed, and the displacement of thousands of people from their homes. Speaking at a stakeholders meeting held in Mangu, conveyed by the paramount ruler of Mangu Nation, Mishkakam Mogavul Da John Hirsi, President Mogavul Youth Movement SD Nkaka, said for peace to return, attacks and cutting down of farm produce must stop, as well as grazing of cattle on the natives' farm without permission must also stop.
Sun sake magana na biyu game da kasa bawo ya faɗa in jan yi gona ka zo ka lalata zai wahala shanunka arzikinka gona na in kana bukatar ka ci kara sai mu yi kamar da muke yi mu ba mu taba ganin ba in na gama girbi zo ka shiga gona kai ki kiwonka kamar da aka saba yi amma ni zan yi sha wahala kashe taki kashe kuɗi in yi noma ka zo ka sassare sai kana son ni da kai mu zana lafiya. It's not possible.
In his submission, Saidu S. Jauro, youth leader of Miyati Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria, Magban, Mangu chapter, also gave the condition that for there to be peace, stop and surge and the killing of members of Magban on the road must actually stop, adding that a high-powered peace committee comprising Fulani and Mogavuli youths should be formed and his kinsmen be allowed to graze their cattle without fear of intimidation across the area. He also accused the state's security outfit, Operation Rainbow, of leading attacks against their cattle.
Kuma ta kawo wasu kuɗaɗe maƙude domin a tallafa wa waɗannan mutane wanda tun da aka ba da kuɗin nan har yau mun kan a karamar hukumar mun ba san sauran ƙananan hukumomi ba shiru ne. Akwai wasu jami'an tsaro wanda wallahi su ma suna taimakawa wannan rikici domin idan ma sun gaji da abin da za su je ne kawai su zaga daji sun gaida shanu suke sai su yi harbi in suka yi da su tattara shanu su kawo lokacin gwamnati.
Earlier in his remarks, the convener of the meeting, Mishkakam Mogavul Da John Hirse, called on the warring parties to forgive each other and give peace a chance. In his address, Commander Operation Save Heaven, Major General A.E. Abubakar noted that total peace can only be achieved when the warring parties were ready to forgive each other and let go of all animosity.
So for us to move forward, we must learn to forgive. Otherwise, that vicious circle of violence will continue. We must draw a line. We can't run away from it. We must draw a line for us to be able to move forward.
Also speaking, special guest at the occasion, the Emir of Wasi, local government area, Alhaji Harun Sambo Muhammad, urged youths of both parties to imbibe the legacy of living in peace, and coexisting peacefully as practiced by their parents in the past, which have brought enormous development to the area, as reported by our correspondent Bashir Musa. Moving on to some judicial matters, an Akwai High Court in Ondo State has struck out a suit instituted by the embattled Deputy Governor of the state, Honorable Lucky Ayedatiwa, challenging his impeachment by the State House of Assembly. Justice O. Akintan Osadebe, in his ruling, declined jurisdiction to avoid conflicting verdict between Ondo High Court and Abuja Federal High Court. Akintan Osadebe ruled that it was a gross abuse of court process to engage in forum shopping by instituting same case in Akure and Abuja High Court. It will be recalled that Ayedatiwa approached the court in a suit filed on September 25, 2023 to stop the House of Assembly from impeaching him. He also sought an order to stop the Chief Judge of Ondo State from accepting or acting upon any request from the House of Assembly of Ondo State to set up any panel to investigate any acts of gross misconduct against the Deputy Governor. Ayeda Tiwa, named as defendant in the suit filed by human rights lawyer Ebun Olu Adegboruwa's son, the Ondo State government, the Governor of Ondo State House of Assembly, Speaker of Ondo State House of Assembly, Clerk of the Ondo State House of Assembly, and the Chief Judge of Ondo State. And moving on to some educational matters, the National Examinations Council, NECO, has released the results of the 2023 Internal Senior Secondary School Certificate Examination, SSCE, with a record of 61.60% of candidates scoring 5 credits and above, including in English and mathematics. The Examination Council disclosed that 93 schools were found to be involved in whole school cheating, while 52 supervisors were recommended for blacklisting due to poor supervision, aiding and abetting during the examinations. The Registrar and Chief Executive Officer, Professor Dentani Ibrahim Wushishi, disclosed this while announcing the release of the results of the examination. Wushishi said the erring schools will be invited to the council for discussion, after which appropriate sanctions will be applied. He said that 1,196,985 candidates, representing 661,398 males and 580,587 females, sat for the examinations, adding that 1,543 candidates with special needs also sat for the examinations. Gunmen have abducted 4 students from Nasarawa State University in Kafi. It was gathered that the students were whisked away on Tuesday when they are lodged at Ungwankari. A settlement of the Kafi local government area was invaded by armed men. The police public relations officer, DSP Rahman Nansel, confirmed the abduction to newsmen on Tuesday. The State Police Command said efforts to trail the perpetrators after combing the area were unsuccessful, but a manhunt has been launched to rescue the students. As Nigerians joined their counterparts across the world to celebrate International Day of the Girl Child today, parents have been urged to empower their children with vocational skills to enable them to become self-reliant in the future. This call was made by the Executive Chairman of the Islamic Council Initiative of Nigeria, ICIN, Hajia Fatima Suleiman, during an exclusive interview with Unity FM's correspondent, Rukaiya Sani Ibrahim. The International Day of the Girl Child is an annual event celebrated every 11th of October each year. It was set aside by the United Nations aimed at highlighting and addressing the needs and challenges girls faced while promoting girl-child empowerment and in fulfillment of their human rights. The theme for this year's celebration is "Our time is now, our rights, our future." According to Hajia Fatima Suleiman, empowering children with vocational skills will help in fighting poverty as well as mitigating the rate of crimes and criminality in our society. We'll take you to the foreign scene where U.S. police shot dead a driver whose car crashed into the Chinese consulate in San Francisco on Monday. Unverified footage of social media showed a vehicle inside the building with officers pointing their weapons at the driver's doors as people fled downstairs and into the open. A spokesman for the consulate said the suspect had driven violently into their consulate's administration hall, posing a serious threat to the lives of staff and people on site and causing serious damage. San Francisco Police Department Sergeant Catherine Winters said officers responded after being alerted to the vehicle having crashed into the visa office. Officers, paramedics and medics had tried to save the suspect's life, but that the person was pronounced dead at the hospital sometime later, Winters said, adding that the police could give no details about the suspect's identity. We'll now look at sports. Manchester United's quest to reach the Women's Champions League group phase for the first time got off to an encouraging start as they held two-time finalists Paris Saint-Germain to a 1-1 draw on Tuesday. PSG dominated the first half in Manchester, with Tabitha Chawinga giving them the lead shortly after the break. But it was France striker Melvin Mallard on loan from Lyon who kept United in the hunt ahead of next week's second leg, coming off the bench to level with a 70th minute header. Another team from the bench from the French capital, Paris FC, were held 3-3 by German visitors Wolfsburg. Eintracht Frankfurt swept aside Sparta Prague 5-0, while Austrian outfit St. Pölten cruised to a 4-0 win at Valo in Iceland. And that sports story ends the news on Unity TV. On behalf of the production crew, thank you very much for watching. My name is Shoaibu Dero.